Welcome to the commission meeting for Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Let's see. I think we're going to jump into roll call. We didn't miss it this time. We didn't skip over it.
Yes, all right. Commissioner Flynn?
Present.
Commissioner Grella?
Here.
Commissioner Siegler?
Here.
Commissioner Silverman?
Here.
And Commissioner Swagger Wilson is not with us tonight.
Thank you very much. So we have summary of discussion session topics, and then you'll jump right into the manager's announcements.
Yes. All right. Tonight in discussion session, the commission heard a presentation from Finance Director Andrew McCreary and representatives from PNC Capital Markets on the municipality's ability to issue debt in 2025, and a discussion on, brief discussion on potential projects that could be included in the bond issue. A summary of bids received and next steps for the Public Safety Center boiler replacement project. A presentation and discussion of options for a new fairway mower at the golf course, an update on the status of the Activate Uptown project from Commercial Districts Manager Eric Milliron, and a summary of activities of boards and authorities. For manager's announcements, or I guess assistant manager's announcements, prior to tonight's meeting, the commission met in executive session to receive legal advice from the solicitor and discuss appointments to boards and authorities. The next regular meeting of the commission is Tuesday, April 8th at 8 p.m. in this room. Here are the ways the public can participate. You can attend in person, as lots of folks have done tonight. You can attend virtually via the Zoom webinar format. Pre-registration for the meeting, whether you attend in person or virtually, is not required. If you are attending remotely, you can click the link on the meeting agenda on the municipal website. And if you wish to speak during public comment, you can use the raise hand feature on Zoom during the public comment period, and we will call on you when it is your turn.
Thank you much. Commissioner Siegler.
Thank you, Mr. President. Join Mount Lebanon Police for Coffee with Cop. It's a casual morning of conversation on Thursday, April 10th from 9 to 10:30 a.m. at Coffee Tree Roasters on Beverly Road. There's no agenda. You can ask whatever you like and stay as long as you like. Members of police leadership will be there as well. The event is sponsored by the Civic Engagement Board. Speaking of the Civic Engagement Board, they selected the recipient of Mount Lebanon's Community Service Award for 2025, Asta Kill of Lindenwood Avenue. She started the annual Lebo Pride event in 2022 and later created the nonprofit Lebo Pride organization. Each year, the Civic Engagement Board selects one resident who meets the following criteria: makes a significant contribution to the community in a volunteer service capacity, participates in humanitarian activities that make a difference in the well-being of others, has exceptional ethical qualities and strives to improve and preserve the community, and is an inspirational role model for the Mount Lebanon community. Asta will be celebrated at the Municipal Volunteer Dinner in 2026 and will be featured in a future edition of Mount Lebanon magazine. You'll be able to nominate an outstanding resident for 2026 later this fall on our website, mountlebanon.org. Here's to save the date for you. Earth Day in Mount Lebanon, presented by the community group Lebo Green, will be Sunday, April 27th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in Mount Lebanon Park, 900 Cedar Boulevard. Enjoy music, food, demonstrations, crafts, and activities for the family. Admission is free. For details, go to www.mountlebogreen.org. Finally, the Mount Lebanon Public Library will soon begin its PEEP Diorama Contest. Assemble your best book-themed shoebox-sized diorama starring Peeps candy and drop it off with an entry form at the Children's Library between April 2nd and the 8th. Winners will be announced the week of April 21st. For full entry guidelines, go to mountlebononlibrary.org.
Thank you very much. We have some promotions tonight. Police Chief, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. I appreciate that. And thank you, Commission, for the opportunity to be before you to recognize these gentlemen and the hard work they put in and the other members of the department. The greatest privilege that we can bestow upon anyone is to serve those who serve. And as these gentlemen have promoted through the ranks, it is the greatest privilege and honor to serve the men and women in this room and others that serve on the Mount Lebanon Police Department. And I know that both of these gentlemen are proud to do that as they ascend the ranks. The greatest opportunity for us here tonight is to also recognize the families. We know that the families of these gentlemen have gone through a lot. They deserve a lot of credit for everything that they get and everything that we get from them. And we appreciate everything that their families have done. And we appreciate really the fine gentlemen that you produced and the support that you give them in order for them to do their job so that they can serve in the best way possible. So thank you to the families, and really we appreciate it more than you know. So the first promotion we have tonight is to corporal from police officer is Kevin Smith. Kevin is a 1991 Westminster College graduate, at which time he went after that and graduated and attended the Beaver County Police Academy. At which time after his graduation from the academy, he spent time in Beaver County working for the Hanover Township Police Department, Raccoon Township Police Department, Brighton, Center, Monaca, and then Economy prior to coming to Mount Lebanon. Kevin completed 29 years of police service. Again, a stellar, remarkable feat in and of itself. During his time here, I can tell you that Corporal Smith has taken on a significant role with our Honor Guard. And he has done a number of different improvements to the Honor Guard program, and why that's significant is all of the outreach programs you see, whether that's the parades or the commemoration services, really pays homage to those that came before us and really pays homage to everything that we do. And without that, we really wouldn't have that opportunity to show that degree of respect. And I can give Corporal Smith a high degree of credit for continuing that and keeping that tradition alive. And we appreciate everything he's done for that program. In addition to that, he's also a physical fitness coordinator, a bike patrol officer, also part of the recruitment team, in addition to being the proud father of Chloe and stepfather to Stephen. And again, his wife Denise has been by his side and supporting him throughout this process. So with that, we're going to invite Corporal Smith up here to have his badge pinned on by Denise and Chloe and Stephen.
You should have members of the emergency here in case things come.
Thank you. All right, next promotion we have is a supervisor, a corporal who ascended the rank to lieutenant. So we're proud to promote Lieutenant Mike Schell. Mike Schell is a graduate of Mount Lebanon High School, 1997 graduate. In addition, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Mrs. Schell's contribution to the law enforcement community. I can tell you that Lieutenant Schell's brother Clay is also a law enforcement officer, retired from the state police, and currently chief of Ringgold School District. His brother Scott is currently on a job with the state police, and his nephew Chris is a Peters Township police officer. So again, comes from a long line of police officers and dedicated public servants, which we appreciate, and it shows in how Lieutenant Schell carries himself. With that, I can tell you Lieutenant Schell graduated from Ohio University in 2002 with a bachelor's degree in sociology and criminology, and he was hired here with the Mount Lebanon Police Department in 2004. With that, he graduated the Allegheny County Police Academy that year. So since that time, we've had Lieutenant Schell do a number of things. Some of those things have been, he was assigned to the traffic unit, where he became a certified crash reconstructionist, and he also was a certified motor carrier enforcement officer, which again is a critical role that we have, being the emphasis we have on traffic enforcement here at the police department. In addition, Lieutenant Shell has been a member of the Honor Guard since 2011. He's also a TASER and OC instructor since 2018. He's been a field training officer since that time, and after that, he was subsequently promoted to corporal in 2019. His wife Jessica and 3 sons, Ben, Alec, and Jack, see them over there. They came from a chorus concert tonight, I believe, so they've got a packed evening this fine evening. And again, we can't emphasize the contribution of your family and their family to everything that Lieutenant Shell does. We appreciate that. Again, we're real proud of these guys, and we're real proud of everything that Lieutenant Shell has done for our department. With that, wife Jessica is going to pin his badge on him tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Congrats. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. What's that? Yeah.
I know. It does seem that way.
All right, good? We're good. Junior Commissioner Abigail Sahida.
Every time you have to speak,
I think we've had a promotion almost every meeting for the last couple of meetings. Yeah.
It's good, don't take it personally.
It's not you.
High school has a few exciting things going on. To start, there is a Student Services Program Review focus session intended for parents of students in gifted education with 504 plans, English second language, or provided with counseling. These focus groups will be hosted by Mount Lebanon staff members and will be held virtually. Sessions will be held this Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. and Friday from 12 to 1. Also, the high school is Lebo University, where on Tuesday, April 1st, parents will be given the opportunity to learn valuable information and be provided with resources to support your family and contribute to students' academic and social emotional well-being. The art show is also coming back to the high school on April 25th. Admission is free, and many of the artists will be selling their work to support the arts programs. Both prints and originals will be auctioned and sold. There will be a silent auction for the original works. Many of the students participating are at an AP art level and have worked for many months on the pieces being showcased. So please come if you can and support our arts programs. The Mount Lebanon Education Association Summer Grant Scholarship applications are due on May 2nd by 3:30 p.m. In 2024, the association granted 62 scholarships to students for a total of almost $7,000 to fund student summer programs. If your student is interested, they can find more information on the MLEA website. National Honor Society acceptances were sent out to juniors yesterday. There will be a ceremony for all who were accepted on Thursday, April 3rd at 7 p.m. at the high school. Parents are invited to attend, and we are very proud of all our amazing students. The speech and debate team came back from states on Saturday night. 9 of the 11 members went to semifinals, and 5 went to finals. As a team, they brought home second for schools of our size, which is a huge accomplishment for the team, which has been rapidly growing in the last 2 years. Last week, 72 seniors were inducted into cum laude. These students have achieved outstanding academic accomplishments with GPAs above 4.8. We are very proud of these seniors and can't wait to see what they do in the future. Lastly, the third 9 weeks is coming to a close on Friday. Grades lock on Sunday, and though 9 weeks grades do not go on your student's official transcript, it's a great time to look and see how your student is doing. Thank you so much and have a good night.
Citizens' comments. Let's see, do we have anyone online? Nick? Anybody?
Yes,
Probably not. Okay. Here in the room, we do have two, and we will start off with Dave Egler.
Dave, I go to 121 Poplar Drive. Since when do the Zoom people get to go first?
I've been switching it up, Zoom, room, back to Zoom, back to the room. I think last week
I
we did
usually
room.
follow Colonel
Yeah,
Hoon,
yeah.
and I hope he is well.
I'm putting you at the end of the list for next week, Dave. That's it.
But if he were here, he'd want you to, give the deer a break in this town, okay?
Right.
Trying to remember what else. He remembers some of our former commissioners well, and like I said.
He would take a swipe at everyone up here, say we're poor leaders and all those things.
Consider it passed on to all of you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, I don't have much to say today. I did see something unusual this morning, and that was a PennDOT crew on Scott Road. I always thought in the past that the municipality did the pothole patching and we'd be reimbursed by the state. I know there's an agreement for winter maintenance. Maybe Andrew can help me out here a little bit, but they had quite a few blocks of Scott Road blocked off one lane today, doing a good job, long needed, because the potholes are really bad this year. So I'm very appreciative that that work was done, but I was, like I said, surprised it was PennDOT. They must have had 20 members of the crew out there. So that was very thankful for that. The other thing I'm thankful for, it's not Thanksgiving weekend, but I haven't been down Pennsylvania Boulevard right away, and since last year when I had a hard time getting through because of all the fallen trees. There was at least a dozen trees fallen. Somebody, and I'm assuming somebody at the municipality, cut, I'm gonna get a head shakes going every which way. Somebody cut a lot of the trees. You can now get like an ATV down that path in case of emergency, which is nice. At least it's walkable now. I was able to make it all the way down to First Commonwealth and back. So whoever did the cutting, I appreciate that. But seems like Andrew has an insight to it. Would you care to share with the rest of us?
I believe those were private residents that did the work.
Wow. See, we would pitch in if we got that trail, I'm sure we'd all pitch in and lay down some gravel and whatever else is needed. I had taken a lot of pictures through that site, which I should try to figure out how to share it with everybody, but it's very wooded in that area. A lot of fallen trees. I mean, it's amazing how many trees have fallen in that area. It needs a good cleaning, and a nice walking trail would really, really fix up that area. So that's basically all I have to say tonight. I thank you all.
Thanks, Dave. Second commenter, another David Barker. It's David night.
Dave Barkley, 249 Hazel Drive. The last few meetings, this commission has been buying new equipment, police cars for the police and equipment and trucks for public works. But the one vehicle that you keep forgetting to buy is called a street sweeper. And I think we should buy one, especially after this month has been nice, warm and everything. And we could have had it out there cleaning our streets instead of having a subcontractor every year doing this. And over the years, the money that we've put out for the subcontractor could have bought us a brand new street sweeper years ago when ours finally, died of old age. And the other thing is, how many people didn't pay their garbage bill last year? Do you know or not? Just a rough estimate, just curious. Yeah.
What was that number? 300,000. At the end of last year? Got it. Okay.
And the other thing, I wish somebody could help me out here. The deer in our area from Ashland, Hazel, and there are 5 of them, and they're getting pretty brave now. They're starting to walk up the middle of our street at night. And it could cause a hazard if you're driving and not paying attention to where you're driving. You're paying attention to your cell phone, as I watch a lot of people do when they go up the street. I wish we could do something about our deer in the neighborhood. Maybe get them to walk on the grass instead of going up the middle of the street.
We'll add some signage.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
David, just real quick, I was first commissioner in 2018, and I believe it was 2018, we had a conversation, and Rudy looked into some numbers about a street sweeper. At that time, I think it was 2018, it might have been 2019, you were around. We did look into the price of a street sweeper. At the time, it was not something the commission wanted to move forward with because of the cost. We're obviously almost 8 years later, and we've started having those conversations again. I don't know that any numbers have been pulled, or maybe they haven't, we just haven't looked
The
at them yet.
last time it was between 300 and 400, depending what kind of a street sweeper, you know, the basic or the high-class one.
But we did look at the costs, and we've started talking about looking at it again, so I suspect that conversation will come back around.
Because, you know, I was trying to find how much we budgeted over the years, and over the 4 years I could find, we spent around $250,000 subcontracting.
Yeah.
And I thought between buying a new piece of equipment and the money we've been spending, I thought it would be, let's buy our own. We have it at our privilege 7 days a week, 24 hours. Because this past month, it would have been great, because if you drove around, a lot of our streets are pretty filthy and need cleaned out, especially where the storm sewer drains are. And if we had our own equipment doing the streets, a lot of that wouldn't be getting down to the storm sewers and clogging them up.
Related to the deer call, when we hit the 5-year mark at the program, we hired a consultant to go over all the numbers. And then Ian and the consultant put together a report, which I think is still available somewhere. It's on the website. It's on the website. But my point is, for every one deer, the whole point of the program was to reduce deer vehicle collisions. And for every deer that is culled, 0.6 collisions were reduced, right? So it wasn't a 1-to-1, but it was pretty close. So, you know, you ask what's going on.
I know.
That was the analysis that was done. For every deer that gets culled, a little bit more than a half of a vehicle collision.
And I realize that you can't, you know, go and do it in our neighborhood, but we got the same 5 all the time, and they're, you know, all over the place. And the other night when I saw them start walking up the center of the street, and I said, and a car came up, and he had to wait until they decided to get off into somebody's yard and start eating their shrubs and that. But I'm saying that for somebody that's not here tonight. But
Conference you two.
But Dr. Hoon's got you both on payroll.
it's probably going to get worse instead of better. And I don't know how we discourage the deer from coming into our backyards or front yards. And because this past winter, just before I went to bed, I opened my front door, and there's a deer sitting on my front porch. I had to open the door and chase it away from my house, and I just thought he was looking for a nice, warm place to sit, you know, for the winter night. It's just getting a little scary to go chase a deer at night.
Thank you for your comments.
Okay, thank you.
If I may, please. Our finance director, Andrew McCreary, do you have some backstory on the sweeper?
It's service level administrator.
Yes, that,
Primary consideration for a street sweeper, we've looked at it for funding it, it's not the price of the equipment, it's the man hours that would then be put towards it. If my memory recalls, it should be 380 man hours. Well, we would be hiring not a part-timer, most likely a full-time position. So there's a full cost of what else would then be of those 2,080 hours of a standard laborer that would be used to drive that truck for those 380, what do we do with those other hours? So that's a bigger lift. So that's more of a $90,000 annual number for full salary and benefits for an employee. So while the cost of the street sweeper over a 15-year period, whether it be leased, financed in some way, or bought outright, it's really not the cost of the equipment so much as the legacy cost then would be a different service level. So that becomes a commission consideration, that if you'd like that service level, there are things outside of just the equipment that would then be needed and be decided upon, because it then becomes a different level of service. So that's really the decision that would need to be made.
Thank you.
Thanks, appreciate it.
And just to add on to what Mr. McCreary said, I pulled up the budget, and the street sweeper was estimated at $360,000 in the 2025 budget for an outright purchase, but that was not including purchasing additional replacement brushes. One of my prior jobs was in a community that owned their own street sweeper, and you would not believe how often you have to replace the brushes underneath it. It's a lot.
All right, great, thank you. Any other online comments or anyone else here? So moved to comment?
There's nothing online.
Thanks, Nick. All right. Commissioner Silverman, please, item number 5.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration of the minutes from the regular meeting held March 11th, 2025. I move to approve the minutes.
All in favor? Oh, oops, sorry. I do. Jump the gun.
I'll second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Commissioner Siegler, item number 6, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Appointments to municipal boards. The commission thanks all of these dedicated residents for their hours of service to the municipality. At this time, it is necessary to reappoint members who are eligible for another term and to appoint new members to fill vacancies caused by board member retirements or resignations. I move to reappoint. You can see all the details over on our right, the audience is left. But I move to reappoint Kevin Brand, Tim Clockerty, Anna Roman, Marty Basic, Jason Ruggles, Thomas Provins, John Reagan, Taryn Malavite Babb, Brooke Webb, Pat King, Chet Wade, John Rombold, and Lynn Lindley. And I move to appoint Ryan Crater, Maura Brand, Michelle Varnell, Ian Hurley, John J. Zanetta, Paul Ostergaard, Matthew Clark, Anna Siefkin, and Carrie Farmer.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on these appointments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Commissioner Siegler. Commissioner Flynn, item number 7, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Bids were received on February 25th, 2025 for the Mount Lebanon Public Safety Building boiler replacements. The project involves the removal and replacement of the existing hot water boilers, inline pumps, suction pumps, control replacement, associated gas piping, associated water return piping, along with associated mechanical and electrical work as shown on the drawings and as specified. The municipal engineer verified the bids as presented on your screens. And the engineer's estimate and budgeted amount for this work is approximately $190,000, which you can see is definitely different than what was presented. Review of the bids received with contractors identified the inclusion of control replacement as the reason for exceeding the available budget. While controls need replacement, the priority is for the boiler replacement. Based upon the reasons noted, it is recommended that the bids be rejected and the project be rebid without control replacement, which will be considered in the next budget cycle. With that, Mr. President, I recommend to reject all the Mount Lebanon Public Safety Building boiler replacement project bids.
Second.
Just a reminder that a yes is a no.
Thank you. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries to reject the bids. Thank you, Commissioner Flynn. Commissioner Silverman, item number 8, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. The introduction of and setting a public hearing for a conditional use request for 360 Castle Shannon Boulevard for use as a warehouse, as warehousing self-storage. JLAB Beauty is requesting conditional use approval for property located at 360 Castle Shannon Boulevard. The applicant is seeking to use an existing dedicated garage for warehousing self-storage. No structural changes to the property are proposed. The property is zoned C2 Commercial District. Chapter 20 of the Mount Lebanon Code zoning, Section 303.3.14 identifies warehousing self-storage as a conditional use in the C2 district. The planning board recommended approval of the conditional use request on March 18th, 2025. And I introduced the request. I realize your line's there, but I introduced the request anyway.
Thank you, Commissioner Silverman. We will set the public hearing for April 8, 2025. Commissioner Siegler, item number 9, please.
Consideration of the expenditures list for February. I move to approve the expenditure list for February totaling $6,285,012.62.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner Flynn, item number 10, please.
Mr. President, I ask that the department reports be received and filed.
And they shall be. We are adjourned. Thank you.